Day. You might be here and you're going through something and you're almost there to throw in the towel. Don't do it. God is about to come through for you. Listen, for so very long, trying to tell the world about God's love and wait on me from Him. Life would be easy, or that trouble would not come. But if I hold on and not be weary, my weeping may would down that time. It didn't look like life would be fair, but I just held on and kept the faith. Then God showed me He was always there. Don't give up now. No, you leave your a few more days and I shall reach your to up now. No, I gotta keep waiting as I wait for you. Promise to do my best. Give up now. Don't do it. I'm gonna believe again. This Lord. Yeah. Days and I shall reach your to give up now. I gotta keep waiting as I wait on the Lord. Promise to renew my strength. Now there's still time when it don't look like. Yes. That was music from Mr. Terrell Brinson. Won't
All
give.
right, all right. Hello, everybody. Hey, Miss Crystal Monique, are you there with us?
Yes. How you doing, everyone?
All
Today?
right, the sound is gone out again. All right, I am so sorry, you guys. We are having technical difficulties over here. Let's see here. Let me try to see what we can do to get Miss Moni back over there. Miss Moni, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. So we got a thumbs up, but I still can't hear you.
See if you can take me off of mute.
It is, let's see here. I'm going to unmute and I'm going to unmute. Mute, and it is doing the same thing again. Oh, no.
You guys,
We have been having some technical difficulties all evening. I think it's something going on with our streaming app here. So let's see here. Let's see how we're going to navigate around this.
So could you hear the music?
It's still not doing. So I am. All right, we are having technical difficulties. Hey, I guess our devices are enjoying Thanksgiving early and they don't want to work right, but we finally have it worked out. Miss Moni, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Thank goodness.
I can
Look,
hear you
that
loud.
song by Mr. Brinson says, "Won't give up." We did not give up tonight.
That's a true testament. So, like our listeners know, we've said, we're pre-recording for the Thanksgiving show. So it's probably like 10:30, almost 11 o'clock on Tuesday evening. We've been working, we are tired, but we just have to make sure that we are here for our listeners, giving them a great show. And, we won't give up. So we are here to give them just that. So, Miss Moni, welcome to the show. It's so good to finally have you here. I've been lonely without you, so now you are here. So take it away.
Yes. Well, thank you, Fabian. Yes, we've been working so hard, especially to make sure that our listeners are going to be able to still enjoy our beautiful voices on Thanksgiving with your family on 90.1 WNPR at 6 p.m. on Thursday, this Thursday, of course. So thank you, everyone, for listening. Definitely, we appreciate you for supporting our page, liking our stuff, and thank you and congratulations again to our winners of last week's giveaway. So congratulations. Yes. Miss Wilson and Miss Hughes, they should be getting their gift cards any day now. So congratulations to you. And every week we have a free giveaway. And this week we wanted to give it to a father, which is Kool-Aid, DJ Kool-Aid. He was the first person under our post to be able to say he cannot wait for this show on Thursday. So congratulations to DJ Kool-Aid. He is our giveaway for this Thursday. Happy Thanksgiving,
Congratulations.
DJ Kool-Aid.
Congratulations, DJ Kool-Aid. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for supporting our show. We really appreciate you.
And your gift card will be in the mail soon. So now, Fabian, you have a really great topic for today. The topic of the day is single parent struggle and co-parenting. I know you're a single parent, so I know you know a lot about that. Do you know that there are at least 13 main issues that people have when it comes to being a single parent? Could you guess one of them?
Wow. The only 13?
Main ones, main ones.
I'm going to tell you, just really support trying to, really trying to, always feeling like you're not enough, for your children. And, being a single parent is hard because I say, well, you know, um, being a dad, I just don't feel like I can give my sons the same nurturing as a
Mhm.
mother could. And so it's always feeling that, how do I fill a gap of what is it that I need to do? And, I'm not enough. That's how I feel so many times.
Because you realize that every child's needs are different. Back in the day, our parents were very strict, and one rule was for every child. But nowadays it's kind of different. This generation, every child is different, so you really do have to like parent each child differently. What do you say?
Yes, most definitely. Like you say, with this generation, back when we were growing up, whatever mama or daddy said, that was it. But now, whatever mama or daddy says, our kids are going to go look it up online and figure it out. And then they're going to come back with, Dad, this is what I saw online. So that is completely different. And so I agree with you. And right now, each child has different needs than we had. But back when we grew up, whatever the adult said was the final say so. But now it's a bit complex being a parent.
Mhm. Well, here is one thing, several things that struck me as interesting on their list of problems and concerns for single parents that they do have these days. Like you mentioned, emotional challenge, finances, that's a big one.
Yeah,
Guilt,
yeah.
relationship problems. If you're trying to date, when do you introduce your child, to your significant other, or do you even introduce until you know that you're serious? Behavior problems. A lot of people have to worry about when you're a single parent. Do I whoop them or do I not whoop them? Should I chastise them? Should I put them on a punishment? So those are some behavior problems that you may see, and then you wonder as a parent, what should I do? When it comes to punishment, when I know they're acting out, and it could be. This is just my opinion. It could be that they're seeking attention, or that it could be that they possibly just, you know, are bullied at school. And we just need to sometimes just sit them down and just ask them, you know, why is it that you're doing this? Instead of, always saying, oh, this is a bad child. Sometimes it's like, okay, what can we do to resolve this? I'm gonna put you in like you're an adult. Tell me what you think we should do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? Hey, that's a good question. And I'm going to tell you one different approach that I took with my sons is having an open door policy. And so, and I didn't get that growing up, which is not a bad thing. A lot of us didn't get that growing up. It was certain things that we could talk to our parents about, and some
Mhm,
things were just off topic.
mhm,
And so, with my children, I tell them, hey, whatever it is that's going on, hey, come and talk to me about it. I don't care how bad it is. You're not going to be judged.
mhm,
We're going to find a solution and we're going to figure out a way to navigate around this problem. Because
mhm,
what you have whenever your kids are not comfortable talking to you, they're going to go talk to somebody about it. And I'm afraid that the person they talk to it about may give them the wrong answer.
Mhm.
And so we have to, be more open, with our children. And sometimes some things that we talk about, I cringe. I'm like, I cringe. I have to control myself because I want to say something. I say, you know what? I can't, because if you start saying something, you're going to break that trust that they have. And so it's all about figuring out, getting into their heads and figuring out what is going on. And then, once you get that trust, I think that makes for a better relationship, and you can kind of guide them along the right path. Because you and I both growing up, we knew if our parents said no, 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 we were going to do it. If we had in our mind that we were going to do it, we were going to figure out a way to do it anyway. And it leads to rebellion. And I don't want, my children to have to ever rebel. I want them to feel free to talk to me about it. And so I can, give them my point of view on it and, build that trust with them.
That is so true. I agree with that. Kids will rebel, but it's good to have. I like how you have that open door policy with them. That's really good. Another thing that they said, Fabian, that were some challenging things that single parents have, and that is fatigue. Could you relate to that? How many sleepless nights have you had?
Oh gosh, all the time. It's at the point where, I go to bed tired. I sleep all night. I mean, I'll sleep for 6, 7, 8 hours. And when I wake
Mhm,
up in the morning, I'm still tired. And
mhm,
so still, very fatigued. And so it's a lot, when you're raising children alone, and I have four. So I have,
mhm,
four boys I'm raising alone, 10, 12, 13, and 18. And so with the various ages, once you get one child on the right track, you're going to have another one that you got to get on the
mhm,
right track. So it's constant. It's like a cycle. It's
mhm,
never where everybody's doing, what they're supposed to do.
mhm,
But fatigue is definitely something that, that comes about, and it's just always figuring out ways to navigate around it,
mhm,
scheduling things accordingly, and be
mhm.
prepared for the unknown. I never know when I'm going to be working, and my phone is going to ring with a call from a school saying, "Hey, we need you to come because your son is doing this." So it's just all about preparing for the unknown and being prepared.
And that is true. Like the unknown with the lights going out right now with my light.
I
It's
saw a
not
blink.
working.
I didn't
These
know what
these lighted right here, I promise you.
my. You know what? Mine flashing a little too. It keep flashing. I'm like, what is going on? I'm like,
It's that doggone elf on the shelf I didn't told
that's what it is. But this is just such an important topic we're talking about.
y'all. Hmm.
And whenever you start getting the things that people need to hear, then all chaos comes around. But we're gonna get it out no matter what happens.
Most definitely. The devil is busy, but that's okay. We're going to get this topic out because this is a really important topic. We have so many people that are single parents and co-parenting, and they are struggling right now. They're really struggling. Um, I wanted to go over a couple more things, and then I wanted to go over a statistic.
Okay.
We got visitation and custody problems. We got changes in time spent with your parents. You have discipline your children. You have loneliness, and then you have self care and sleep. Okay, so those are some really, really, really important things. But the five hardest parts about being a single parent: number one, you can't be the good cop. Okay. You know how when you have both parents, you have a good cop and a bad cop, right? Which one are you,
Hmm.
Fabian? Are you a good cop or a bad cop?
I'm the bad cop all the way. I'm Walker, Texas Ranger.
Okay. Straight out of the sheriff, okay? Because
Yeah.
you are no nonsense. You do not play.
Uh, uh, you know, um, yeah, and raising young men,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be tough. And I
Mm-hmm.
tell them all the time. I say, "Hey, look, I'm sorry that I'm so tough on you,
Mm-hmm.
but." You know, you guys are a few years away from being out on your own. And if I don't raise you right, and if I'm not tough on you, somebody's going to be tough on you, and they're not going to be tough on you and give you love. You know, when it comes to my kids, you know, they're going to get disciplined appropriately. And at the end of them, say, hey, look, I'm doing this because I love you, I care about you, and I want the best for you. And so if I have to be tough and give them that tough love now and be the bad cop, you know, I'm completely fine, you know, with that, because once they, you know, they're adults and they look back and they see that dad was doing the right thing by them, they will appreciate it. But sometimes they get mad at me and won't talk to me for a day or so. And I say, hey, that's fine. You don't have to talk to me now. But if that's what it takes to get you on the path where you need to be for success, then hey, I'm willing to make that sacrifice on the, you know, on the front end. You know, so many people believe in trying to be friends with their children, and you know, it's not going to happen. I mean, I'm your parent. You have to stay in that role of the parent and the child. You know, I'm not trying to be your friend. I'm your parent. I love you. You're my child. You should love me. But when you cross that boundary of being friends with your child, you can't discipline your child. You can't discipline your friends. You know, you can't call your friends and try to discipline them. So we have to keep that, you know, have to keep that line where it is and keep that relationship where it is.
And that's a good point. I saw a motivational speaker talking about this particular topic as well with the single parents. And one thing that he said is that between the ages of 0 and I believe it's 12, I'm sorry, 0 to 8, he said you should be disciplining your child. And from the age of 8 to 12, you should be coaching your child. And from the age of 12 to 18, that's when you become their friend. Because then, by then, at that moment, you've already you've already disciplined them, you've already coached them. So now they're in that manhood or that, you know, young lady stage where now you can actually kind of see them. They can see each other as peer to peer, or not just peer to peer, but they can actually relate to you, and you can open up and you can have that open door policy, because now they know what they like and what they don't like. And now they know what their future may want to be once they're teenagers, and what they, you know, they have a voice in what their concerns are, where they may want to go to college, you know, whether or not they want to continue to play music, or whether or not they want to, you know, do play basketball, or do you want to have a career in sports. Like by that time when they're a teenager, of course they can voice their opinion, you know, and you can respect their opinion. But I do also want to bring out the point. I know some parents are, once they become teenagers, you know, they be like, oh, well, I don't care about hearing your opinion. You just respect my opinion, and what I say go. But I think sometimes, you know, once you say that, then that's where it closes the door for them to now, when something does go wrong, maybe in college or, you know, with their other peers, I think that's when they're, you know, decide, hey, I don't want to come talk to my mom or my dad, because now I don't think they're, you know, they're gonna judge me. And so that's what I think that it's a great idea for, as a single parent, especially when you don't have another parent. Because when you have two parents in the household, you actually can have, like you say, like they say, a good cop and a bad cop. So if the mom is like really, really, really strict, and the teenager is having problems, hey, they can go to dad. Well, if there's only one parent in the home, who do they go to?
That's it. And you know, being a single parent, you know, I have to be mom and dad, ultimately. And you know, because I'm the only person, you know, I'm the only thing that they have. And so that you know, it makes it really hard because mothers are nurturing. You know, mothers are going to be nurturing. That's just how it is. Mothers are always more nurturing than dads are. With dads, we're more cutthroat and, you know, son, toughen up, be a man. You know, we you know, we're tougher, and so I have to try to find that balance and say, you know, like I think you may have seen on Facebook. I told you about my son. He scraped his shoulder, and he was waiting on me when I got home with the alcohol bottle and in the gauze. Dad, I want you to put alcohol on me. And I had to really think, like, he just wants that nurturing. So instead of me saying, oh, it's gonna be okay, I took my time. So, okay, son, come on. I said, hold your breath while I'm rubbing on you. He held his breath. And when I rubbed on him, he just, ooh, it hurt. And it was just a little scratch. I knew it didn't hurt him, but he just wanted that nurturing moment. And I had to realize that, hey, this is what he wants. But, the dad in me was like, when I grew up, I used to scrape myself all the time. My leg was hanging off one time and it didn't bother me. But it's always finding that because, they're missing that. They're missing that nurturing spirit from a mother. So you have to realize that. And hey, let me flip the scripts a little bit. When we're talking about single mothers, it's challenging for them because they're so nurturing and they have to really figure out a way to navigate around and be a little more firm like a father would. So it's really hard for both sides, being a single parent, but that's that's the deck that we've been dealt, and we have to deal with it and do what's best for our children.
That is true. They say that, you guys don't, when you have a single parent, they don't get breaks. Being alone, watching your child experience a loss. So those are some barriers and some things that makes it difficult and make it hard also. Um, and then also balancing work and leisure time can be different because single mothers and fathers are expected to provide for their children. It also can lead to single mothers and fathers also working extra hours. And everybody, the term used to be latchkey kids. You remember that?
Yeah.
Where you actually could, like our parents actually did leave us at the house. You know,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Back in the day, that's what we could do. They just said, "Hey, close. Make sure you don't go outside." And it was always like an older, teenager, that was in the house, that was watching. But nowadays, that really can't happen, and so a lot of times it's your grandmama or auntie or a friend that's keeping your child. So you really not seeing them after you drop them off earlier or when they go to the bus. And then when they come home, you're not even there to make sure that they get the homework done or help them with the homework or to make sure that they ate dinner. So those are some major things. And I would imagine that is very hardening, that parents have to, really struggle with the fact that they want to be with their child, but they can't be because of financial reasons.
Yeah, and it's really hard for me a lot of times because like in the evenings I have things to go to, events I have to go to, or meetings I have to go to. And it's hard, when I have to leave my children to go because, I can see, the excitement when I pick them up from, daycare and bring them home. And I can see the excitement on the way home, if it's 5 minutes from the house. And when they all get in the car, the first thing they always gonna say, Dad, what you have for dinner today? Lunch. I'm sorry, what you have for lunch? Well, we had so and so for lunch. They're telling me about their day. And so in the time from getting from daycare to home, they're trying to tell me every single thing that they can tell me because they know that dad may be going out. And to, not be able to be there with them because I know that there's so many other things they want to tell me, that bothers me. And then the days when I pick them up, and because if they can tell what I'm gonna do when I pick them up, because I have a suit on, they know that Dad got somewhere to go. So if I'm dressed down, they'll ask me, Dad, you got somewhere to go? I'm like, no, I'm at home, and they're like, yes. But if they have my suit on, like, Dad, you going out? I'm like, I'm sorry, I gotta go to me, and they're like, oh, just a disappointment. But that's what it takes to provide for them. And like you say, back to that guilt. And so the whole time I'm out doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I'm on my phone, checking my phone, texting them or texting the sitter, hey, what's going on? How the kids doing? And I'm trying to get away from whatever I'm at to get back home to, to be with my children. And so I can't really, focus on, what I'm doing. I'm away from because I want to be there, for them. Now, if there were another parent here, it would be okay because I would say, hey, the mom is at home with them and they're fine. She's giving them what they need, but I'm knowing like I got to get back to them because I got to, serve in both roles. So their guilt is there.
Yeah, yeah, and I can imagine. And look, you do a good job. I think. I mean, of course, I can empathize with you, because I know that you may feel differently, and I can respect the way you feel. So I'm gonna acknowledge the way you feel. Sometimes if you say you feel guilty and everything, but I do see how you do try to balance it out. So on the outside looking in, I can see where you try to do everything you possibly can to spend time with them, because they do know you're busy. But I do see, like, you take them to the movies, you take them to the fair, you take them, so I see. So I know that you probably do think that. And and the reason why I say that is because parents, I think sometimes you beat yourself up a lot because you think you're not doing enough. But I think when they grow up, they're gonna be able to look back and see the memories, and they're gonna say, Dad, he took me to my first fair, or Dad took me, to go down there to Florida. We went on our trip. Those are the memories that they're gonna be able to share, whether you're a mom or you're a dad. Just spending even small portion of the time, just like you say, taking them to the bus stop. Whereas where you may think, oh, I'm just gonna stay in and sleep a little bit. Maybe one day, just like you say, go take them to the bus stop. That even 5 minute, 10-minute window, just so you can interact and talk to them, will mean a lot to them, because it may be something that's on their mind that they haven't said or expressed, but that one day that you said, hey, just tell me how does that, have you met any new friends at school? Or what did your teacher say, about your essay that you wrote? Engage them, talk to them. I don't personally have kids, but I raised my older nieces and nephew. I want to say I did help do a pretty good job. um, but I did have to go. I was part of, me and my mom and dad and my other siblings. We did have to go to PTA meetings. I remember when I was probably, I would say maybe in my early 20s, and they were in elementary school. I remember having to go and go to PTA meetings when it was, you know, go eat lunch with them, go when it's time for them to go on a field trip. I had to do that too. So, and then, I consider myself a bonus mom too. So, I have, contributed a lot to a lot of kids, and I have god babies too. So, I'm not
I'm,
a stranger to kids.
I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you Mother Goose, the lady that lived in the shoe.
And
But
had too many kids, didn't know what to do.
yeah, but and one thing that I do have to say is I have amazing children. I could not ask for better children, because they are so understanding. And when I was running for office, and like I talk about being open and transparent with children,
Mhm.
and so when I was running for office, I sat them down and I told them, what it would entail. And it wasn't me campaigning; we campaigned together. They were out on the campaign trail and they saw, they saw the process. And I explained to them why I want to serve people, why people need help. And by them going out in the community with me, they understand. And so when I tell them, hey, Dad, let's go to a meeting, they'll say, oh, well, Dad, we know you out there helping people. So go on and do what you're supposed to do. They know that Dad's just not out, just living his best life, just enjoying being away from home. And so they encourage me every single day when I'm going out there. And so I couldn't ask for better children, because they're great kids.
They really are. I adore them too. So and they're so look, when they come around, they say, yes, ma'am. I'm like, look, I'm not that old. But they say yes, ma'am, and they actually they'll take out the garbage when we cleaning up at the wash party. They was like, do you need me to do anything, Miss Crystal? And I was like, ooh, baby got these kids disciplined. I like that. I absolutely love that. I love the fact that they are so manable. You can take them anywhere. They don't have you can tell that they were trained and have manners. So that's what I say, kudos to you. But also, we are big at on our show of, we identify issues, but we also try to find resolutions. So I'm gonna give you some of my ideas that I think that will help sometimes with when you're either a single parent or you co-parent. And then Fabian, I want you to share, if you don't mind, some tips that you have that you can share with a parent out there that's maybe struggling, that may possibly need some advice. A lot of people will say, hey, go to a therapist if you have a child that's, have a behavior issue, or they go to lighting. See, there we go again. See, there you go. But that's
I'm a
okay.
flash mine so I can be like, you see, there we go. We're twins.
Right. Look, I may have to do the old-fashioned way. Look, get it on the light on my iPhone.
See, look, I got a fan slack to turn mine on. Look, I can adjust mine.
Like one of those TikTok videos. I got some light now.
That's it. Look, I got different colors on mine. See there?
But
our audience know we're not gonna do right.
No, they already know. If you think we are Tamron Hall or somebody like Gayle King, and no, we're not. We are the reliable representation talk show. If you're going to get exactly that.
That's it. That's exactly what they're gonna get.
But one of the things that I say, a lot of times people say, go to counseling. But a lot of people don't. To be honest, if you already have financial issues, you don't have money to, take you or your child to go to counseling, or if you're needing that counseling. But I would suggest maybe possibly joining a single parents group, maybe on Facebook or something. There's other parents that may have the concerns that you have, or may possibly be able to give you some tips and guidance on it. There's like couponing books that you can actually help with groceries and stuff. Like when you're, financially, you're not able to pay certain things. There's a lot of couponing groups that you can actually join to help as well. But also, I would say to people who don't have kids, if you have a friend, or if you have an uncle or a niece or somebody that do have kids, maybe say, hey, instead of your birthday gift, this is what I do. I say, instead of your birthday gift, I gift you and your husband a date night, or you a date night, so you can go and do a self-care, do whatever you want to do for 4 hours. That way you can choose whatever night, as long as I'm free. You can choose whatever night you want to go, and I'll keep your kids. That's the easy way to help somebody out. And then, you don't even actually, this is a cheap way, but you still don't even have to buy a gift.
That's it. I like that idea. Mm-hmm. I like that. And look, I was just giving a good night hug to one of my brothers. So yeah, but that's how it is. But it those are really good suggestions. And one thing that I do want to tell every single parent that's listening in, this is single parents or parents that aren't single parents. We have to realize that we are enough, no matter what. We have to realize that we are role models to our children. Our children are watching every single thing that we do. They look up to us. Children are smart. They're like sponges. They're taking in every single thing. And so we have to realize that, we are enough. We're superheroes to our children. And so do your best, and whatever you're doing and putting into them, it is going to stick with them. And so I have to tell myself that all the time.
I agree. And then also I want to say for the co-parent, because we didn't talk a lot about co-parenting, but I do want to say the one thing that I noticed that sometimes, and I'm gonna say with a lot of women, especially with single moms, when you're broken up with your ex, or their father, and for example, you may not be getting the child support or the spousal support or anything from them, if the parent or the father is still wanting to be active in the child's life, as long as he's not a danger to you and the child, make some type of custodial effort to still keep that child in his life. And regardless of your feelings towards him, that child still needs to be around. I have seen it happen several different times. You know, we all have seen the Lifetime movies, we've seen the BET movies, and we've seen how in the end result, when they become teenagers and when they become, you know, older, how that affects their lives, and actually that affects their relationships as well down the line. So I would just say, be open to it. You maybe get your mom or his mom to be the mediator between you guys, and find an open place where you guys can meet and drop off, and that both of you guys are comfortable in it, where there's no interaction, you know, just dropping off the child and that's it. The child does need to see you guys being positive. You really don't have to say too much. Just say, hey, bye, Charlie, and keep it moving. I would like to see more people co-parent effortlessly, so that it won't be um more kids in this world suffering mentally, and mental illness is real. So we're going to talk about that later on the end of this month. We got a doctor, really brilliant doctor, that's coming on. Fabian referred us to her, and Dr. Carla. She's really great. She's a licensed therapist. So she's going to come on to talk to us, you know, towards the end of the month. And I think this topic, we do need to discuss this as well, do a part 2 when we have a live studio audience, so they can call in and ask some questions too. What you think, Fabian?
You know, we definitely are going to bring this back up because there's so much to unpack and so much to talk about. And we have like this is happening, you know, in our communities right now, and we have to have these conversations. And we are definitely going to, you know, talk more about this, you know, in the future. And we are. And go ahead and give us your final thoughts, Ms. Moni.
Yes, so design has allowed us to stand out, to look different, and show that difference boldly. That's a quote from Joe Mansueto. But I do have to say something. Of course, we do have some events. Just real quickly, I wanted to say that you're invited to District 66 Christmas party on Wednesday, December 6th, between 5:30 and 9 p.m. at Monty's Steak and Seafood, 5610 I-55 South Frontage Road, Byron, Mississippi, hosted by no other than Representative Fabian Nelson. That's again December the 6th on Wednesday. So we hope to see you guys out on December the 6th. And I'm gonna do 3 more just so that I can let everyone know. The Brownie is coming up. The play, an unforgettable trip. The Brownie Unforgettable Trip, presented by Felicia Kelly Brookins. The tickets are on Eventbrite. So so you can go now and get it before early bird tickets. You can get, remember they asked the question, can they get it at the door? Yes, you can get it at the door. So those are some things. And the last thing that I want to say is that the New Year's Eve Snicker Ball is at 8 p.m. hosted by Stephen James at the Ice House. Check that out. And of course, don't forget to check out 4th Avenue every weekend. Great food, great music, great ambiance. And then also don't forget to check out AmericanSlangCollection.com. That you can go to Facebook, Instagram. And thank you so much for news you can use.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, everybody, that concludes our show this evening. We hope that you guys have had a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family And one thing is, please remember the reason for the season. Well, that's going to be in Christmas, but remember the reason for the season in Thanksgiving. It's all about giving thanks for everything that we've been blessed with. And if you're saying right now that I don't have anything to be thankful for, the fact that you have breath in your body and that you opened your eyes up this morning is enough to be thankful for. And so be thankful for that. And as we sign off, going to always tell you to do what? Love yourself, love your neighbor, love your community, and don't forget to love your favorite representative, none other than Fabian Nelson for Mississippi House District 66. We love you, and we will be back live in the studio next week. Ms.
All
Wanda, take us on out.
Woo! I am so excited. You ready?
I am ready. Ready. See y'all next week.
Yeah. I want to share something with you today. You might be here and you're going through something and you're almost ready to throw in the towel. Don't do it. God is about to come through for you. Listen. I've been singing gospel music for so very long.
That's one of my baby pictures.
Oh, that's nice. You ready for Thanksgiving?
I am ready. Look, I'm gonna get in here now and start cooking. So we are ready to eat whatever we